What's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's second stimulus check update and stimulus package news. Today is Thursday, August 13th, so happy Thursday. First off, let's address the stimulus package negotiations and how those are going to affect the second stimulus check, because as of right now, that is what most people are craving, are needing, is that $1,200 stimulus check. So let's address the stimulus package negotiations first so you get a better understanding of whether this stimulus check is coming, what's the likelihood, and when could we expect it. So yesterday was the first time Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi have spoken since last Friday, and that is way too long. That's almost a week. And to be honest, talks did not go well. During the talks, which only lasted a handful of minutes, it was very clear that a deal was not going to be made. Nancy Pelosi said, "We are miles apart." She has said this before, and she continues to reiterate this. However, I just want to point out that the Republicans have agreed to spend more than $1 trillion, and Democrats have agreed to come down to $2 trillion. However, they want to meet at $2 trillion, and that is where there is a little bit of a battle. All right. So Nancy Pelosi also added that Democrats have compromised repeatedly and made it clear that they are willing to go down $1 trillion. Instead of $3.4 trillion, they're willing to go down to $2 trillion. But all they ask is Republicans meet them at that $2 trillion budget, which Republicans, and specifically Steve Mnuchin, has said this is a non-starter. Also, and Nancy Pelosi goes on to say, however, it is clear that the administration still does not grasp the magnitude of the problems that American families are facing. And how could anybody, how could Democrats or Republicans, how could anybody in the Senate understand the magnitude of what American families are going through when senators are paid $174,000 per year and the average American family is paid a lot less than that? So obviously they don't understand the magnitude of being poor or being semi-broke. After hearing Nancy Pelosi's statement, Steve Mnuchin goes out and says her statement is not an accurate reflection of our conversation. She made it clear that she was unwilling to meet to continue negotiations unless we agreed in advance on her proposal, which was at least $2 trillion. So he's pretty much just saying Nancy Pelosi gave him an ultimatum. It's either $2 trillion or we don't meet. Those are his two options. And well, as of right now, he's choosing we can't meet. So right now, all it is a bunch of finger pointing. You said this, you said that, we were willing to do this, we're willing to do that, and nothing is getting done. As of right now, you're probably getting as sick of this as I am, right? Let me know down in the comment section below. What is the one thing that is making you the most furious about this situation? Is it the lack of stimulus to the American people, the finger pointing, the he said, she said? What is it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Stephen Mnuchin went on to say yesterday that the administration is willing to move forward with legislation that allows for substantial funds for schools, childcare, food, vaccines, hospitals, PPP for small businesses, rental assistance, broadband, airports, state and local government assistance, and liability protection for universities, schools, and businesses. However, the Democrats have no interest in negotiating. So he is pointing back to Nancy Pelosi and saying, you don't want to go negotiate. Nancy Pelosi is stating and saying to the administration and to Steve Mnuchin, you don't understand the problems. Now, after hearing Steve Mnuchin's statement yesterday, one thing popped into my mind is, where was the saying and the talks about the second stimulus check, the direct payments to the American people? Because in his statements, he addresses schools, liability protection, childcare, food, vaccines, hospitals, PPP for small businesses, and rental assistance. Nowhere in there does he mention a second stimulus check or direct payments to the American people. So this had me wondering, Did he just forget about the payments to the American people, or was this being considered as next level, next phase of negotiation? Are they not planning on passing the second stimulus check in this round of negotiations, or are they trying to push that off toward the end, or have they completely wiped that off the table? That is something that I really want to know, and as of right now, I have no clue. So what I'm here to tell you is, as of right now, the state of the second stimulus check is really up in the air. We don't know, but as of right now, it's looking very, very unlikely. Now, Stephen Mnuchin does go on to state and end his statement by saying, effectively, the talks are dead. And President Trump pretty much reiterated that, saying that they are going nowhere. There is no deal to be had. So, just to clarify this, as of today, as of Thursday morning, August 13th, 2020, the chances of a second stimulus check happening are very unlikely. Okay? Right now, they're not going to happen, at least not in August. Now, I'm sorry to give you more bad news, but I'm going to do that. However, before I jump into this second round of bad news, can you do me a favor? If you just like these second stimulus check updates and stimulus package news videos, can you do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button? This is just one of the metrics that YouTube uses to decide whether they're going to share this video with others here on YouTube as well. So it does me a huge favor, and it also helps other people as well, so they stay up to date on everything that evolves around stimulus. Now, here's the other round of bad news, round 2 in today's video. Due to the negotiations going so poorly over the last few weeks, and specifically this week, the Senate may possibly go on recess today for the rest of the month. And their recess will go until September 7th, where they will finally come back and hopefully start negotiations again. But again, that is very unlikely. Now, just because the Senate technically goes on recess does not mean that there cannot or will not be any negotiations of any kind. They are just on recess. Okay, that's all it means. They're just on recess. They're back in their home states, okay, working on their own things, doing whatever they do, trying to get reelected if that's the case. And so who knows what's going to happen, but as of right now, that is a possibility, and we will know more today whether that actually happens. Now, here's the other problem with that, is once they come back on September 7th, that means Congress has roughly 3 weeks to pass something before the October 1st government shutdown deadline. This is the day that the new fiscal year budget goes into effect. And if they don't have the budget, then it will just be a government shutdown. Now, a reporter ended up asking Nancy Pelosi, is it possible, if it's possible that no deal gets done or passed until the deadline approaches? And Nancy Pelosi responded with, I hope not, no, people will die. But I just want to be clear, people are not only going to die in September, people are currently dying today, and I'll get to the numbers in just a second. But White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow said yesterday, the economy does not need more stimulus. The executive orders provide considerable assistance and economic growth. That's funny that he says that, because on the same day, yesterday, multiple experts came out and said that President Trump's executive actions will do little to boost the economy. So they are pretty much saying the exact opposite of what Larry Kudlow was saying, which is pretty important when the White House economic advisor is saying something and you got experts saying something completely different. Who do we believe? Now let's address some new rental assistance programs. I'm trying to make sure everybody stays in their home, has a roof over their head, staying warm. It is going to get cold in the next couple of months. I do not want people to be homeless. This is not the time to be homeless, as if there's really any good time to be homeless, but when it's cold out, that is definitely not a good time. Buena Park, California has a new rental assistance fund of $500,000 and is giving away $1,000 per month for 6 months. This is just for Buena Park, California. This is the city. Okay, so $500,000 can do a lot of good for many families. Other nearby cities are also offering some form of rental assistance, including Irvine, California, and Santa Ana. In addition, in Texas, Houston now has a second rental assistance program after their first fund ran out. The first fund was this fund is going to be for $25 million, and it should help roughly 20,000 families. The first fund was created back in June for the county, which has Houston in it. So this was for the Houston and the surrounding areas. However, that fund, that rental assistance program helped over 20,000 additional families. However, here's the big problem. There were 500,000 families that applied, and only 20,000 families received funds. So 480,000 families, 480,000 homes possibly went behind on their rent simply because the state was shut down, they were not working, they couldn't afford to pay any of their rent. But Houston decided, let's do something else, let's put some more money towards it, which is always good news. Now, this just shows how many people are actually struggling across the United States. And the best thing about this news is that even though the federal government is in disarray and is helping very little, the cities, the counties, and the states are doing what they can to ensure that their residents can stay in their homes. So good job, all you cities, counties, and states that are actually doing something for your residents. Now let's address some COVID-19 news. First off, yesterday President Trump said he is urging students to get back into the classrooms. He's urging businesses to fully open, and he's urging sports teams to start filling their stadiums. All good things, all things that everybody wants. However, just yesterday alone was the deadliest day of the summer with nearly 1,500 deaths. So that to me does not make me want to send my kids into a classroom, does not make me want to open up a business, or it does not make me want to go and watch my favorite sports teams play whatever sport it is. I just don't want to do that because I don't want to be one of those numbers. I don't want to be a statistic, and I definitely do not want to be one of the deaths. Yesterday in California alone, they predicted that roughly 17,000 positive COVID-19 cases are due to the fact that there is a shortage in personal protective equipment for essential workers. Yes, that means people in hospitals and clinics are not getting the personal protective equipment that they need from their employer to stay safe, and over 17,000 people were infected simply because they did not have the right equipment. That is huge, and that is a huge problem. As of right now, you could probably already guess this, but the United States does not have a handle on the COVID-19 crisis. And without federal funding to help states, businesses, and the American people, this pandemic is going to drag out for many more months. However, I want to give you some financial advice. Okay? I'm not a CPA, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to give you some advice. Very basic, very generic, but it can help you out. First off, don't make any large purchases as of right now. Don't go off and buy a new house if you are worried about your job or you don't have a decent amount of savings. If it's not an investment, it is not a good idea. So don't go out and buy something huge. Save your money if you are unsure about what is going to happen. Personal advice or financial advice number 2, invest into things that can make you money. This obviously includes stocks, real estate, again, if you have some money to invest, but also invest in your health and your mindset. These are 2 things that you can do. The health, just go and invest in a resistance band. It costs maybe $15, $20. It's not a huge investment, but it can help you out and make you feel better. It can help you feel healthy. Okay, get some muscle mass if that's what you're looking for. And as far as your mindset, Go to a bookstore or order one on Amazon, and it can cost you as little as 99 cents for an ebook. But invest in yourself, invest in your mindset, because as of right now, the mind will play a lot of tricks on you. When you're cooped up and you have nowhere to go, you need to make sure your mind is right. And the third piece of financial advice that I have for you is to eliminate any unnecessary monthly expenses. That could include something like Netflix. That could include something like Hulu Plus or Hulu Live. That could also be something like, apps that you have on your smartphone that you pay $2.99 a month for. Get rid of them. $2.99 is not a lot, but let's say you have 3 apps that cost you $3 a piece. That's $9 per month. Let's say it's you and your spouse. That's $18 per month. At the end of the year, that's going to be a decent amount of money that you've saved. Also, a gym membership. If you don't feel comfortable walking into the gym, cancel your gym membership. Right now, there are many gyms across the United States that are open. And for those that are open and you feel safe and you are investing in your health, great. But if you don't feel safe or the gym is still charging you money, even though they only allow a certain amount of people in there, maybe consider getting rid of the membership, buy a resistance band for 15 to 20 bucks and save money that way. So there you guys go. That is today's second stimulus check update and stimulus package news. Today is Thursday, August 13th, and today could be a pivotal day. We now know that the Republicans and Democrats want to continue negotiations. However, with the state of where they're at, it is not going to happen. But again, thanks for watching today's video. If there's anything that I can do for you, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. I'm trying to get to them as quickly as possible. However, you guys ask a lot of questions, and again, I love it. But the problem is, it's only me answering them. So because of that, it takes me a little bit. But again, if you are loving the second stimulus check updates and stimulus package news video, do yourself a favor, smash that like button, and consider subscribing so you don't miss any more of my videos. But if that's it, I'll see you guys on the next one.